Welcome to Selfish Confidence, a place where we can connect and be real about how hard it is to be your damn self. My name is Jess, and my goal is to help you build confidence and belief in yourself to live any life path you want, even if it's unconventional. It's time to flip off societal pressures and connect with women who've also felt on the outside by their life choices. We're here to encourage you to grab the mic and speak your truth. I know it can be scary, but we're in this together. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Selfish Confidence podcast. We are live here over on Instagram, and oh man, I'm feeling all the energies today. If you don't follow me on social media and you're just like, Jess, I was looking for your podcast last week, yesterday, Sunday afternoon, we got some really crazy news here in Nova Scotia about an uncontrollable wildfire. And even now, still, the wildfires are still happening, but we've had a lot of rain this weekend and things are going and looking a lot better. But I did not feel good coming on here to do a Motivation Monday confidence corner last week after just getting that news. Yesterday was all last week was just a strange week, and we're still navigating a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings and support for those who lost their homes here. And with that, I just was not prepared to come on the mic and to really be truly me in a safe way and in a way that I could understand last week. So that's why we're here this week, and I have missed you so much. I have a really special episode for you today, and it's something that I've been thinking about and is on my heart. It's a theme that keeps coming up in my client calls and in the Confidence Collective right now, my group coaching program, and it just keeps being a really important topic for us to talk about. And I wanted to share it with you. It's all about being yourself. And actually, there's something really interesting about this topic because we've talked about it so many times. That's what this podcast is all about, being truly you and understanding and knowing yourself and being able to express that in everywhere that you go. And I know that's not easy. If you remember my OG intro for this podcast, it talked about being as confident as you can be on the couch as I am in public. And that is something that I'm still learning and navigating and growing into every day. And I'm sure you're feeling the same. If you have a few people who you can be confidently you with, like you don't have to hold back. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to worry or apologize for anything that you're saying. If you have a few people in your life that you can do that with, you're the lucky few. Because there's so many of us who don't have that. I'm really blessed to have an amazing supportive system around me, one that was both given to me and one that I curated so that I could build this business to be confidently myself. But last week I was out with some of my girlfriends, and a space that I can normally truly 100% be me, be able to speak up. And I can be my optimistic, bubbly, excitable self and pump them up and feel really good and bring that energy to a whole new level. That's what I'm naturally good at. But when we were going around the table and talking about, what's new? It's been a while since I've seen you. Give me an update. How are you feeling? Some of the girls could so effortlessly speak how they were thinking and feeling and what was going on in their lives and what was new. And when it came to me, I was just like, I got ice cream the other day, and I just couldn't speak about the excitable things that were going on, the things that I have been working so hard on that I can't wait to share with you. It is coming very soon, more details on some big things that are coming up, but I couldn't in that moment express them or say them out loud, even though it was a very safe space for me. So I'm curious, do you have someone or something or a group of people where you can truly be you 100%? You don't have to worry about anything. Do you have that? I have this weird awkward pause after that. I'm like, because I think that's a big question. It takes you a really long time to figure it out. So often we are apologizing for saying too much or being too loud or not being loud enough or not using our voice. Apologizing for what we're wearing, how our hair looks. How often do I see people come on social media and be like, don't mind my hair, or sorry, I didn't put any makeup on. I'm going to put a filter on. And by all means, I am not trashing filters or trashing makeup. I'm trashing you apologizing for showing up as yourself, for showing up without makeup or showing up as who you are. And I think it's so interesting that the world has forced us to apologize for being ourselves in so many ways. There's something about women and that parameter that we have around us. Like, don't take up too much space, but take up enough space. You have to use your voice, but don't be too quiet. And this weird bargain that we have with ourselves and how we show up in this world. And confidence is knowing yourself and being able to show up as your true authentic self. And as someone who works in that every single day, someone who helps so many clients in this all the time, it's something I still struggle with. I'm not immune to not being able to be myself or to truly speak my voice. And I still think that's kind of funny as I sit here on a microphone and share things and preach at you about being yourself. It's still something that I truly struggle with every day. I started this podcast as a way for me to figure out my confidence and find myself, and I have in so many ways, but it's still really uncomfortable for me sometimes to speak about the good things and celebrate the big things that are happening. Give me an amen if you are feeling that too. Send me a message if that's something that you truly connect with, because I do think for a lot of women, especially as we grow and we grow outside of our comfort zone, it's really uncomfortable for us to share that with a lot of people. And I noticed this a couple times this week, and I wanted to share a few examples. One being with a client that I had who just hit like a really big goal that she had, a goal that she set out in January. And if you're listening to this, girl, I'm so proud of you and I love you so much. But she couldn't celebrate herself. It's something that she thought she should have done more. She should have been bigger. Even though this was a goal she set out in January, and the January version of her would be there just like crying, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did this. Holy crap. Like, we wanted this. But for some reason, when it came to now, and though she hit it, and again, the pride was there. It was a big goal. But she couldn't find the way to celebrate that because she thought she should have been further along. The world tells us to be bigger and yet also to be smaller in so many ways. And we are confused because we're like, wait, but I wanted this. But for some reason, I can't celebrate it. And so we worked through it. And I'm hoping today, as I sit here and I talk to you, that she's feeling a lot better and being able to celebrate herself in that. But it's interesting. Even when it's a goal that we want, even when it's something that's so big and we know it's meant for us, we can't celebrate it publicly. Because if we do, we are, selfish, conceited, cocky, all these things. And that's not the truth. The more we celebrate these things, I think the more it's going to be comfortable for other women to do it. Another time that this came up where I noticed people just apologizing for who they are and what they're doing was in the Confidence Collective, my group coaching program that helps you just navigate who you are, what you want, and where you're going and how to get there. And it was in the first week. And after the call, one of the girls in the group was like, I'm so sorry. I think I took up too much time. I can't believe I rambled that much. I just came in guns a-blazing. I had so much to say and apologized for how she showed up in the call. But that's what it's all about. A safe space for you to be able to speak as much as you want, to be truly yourself, to come in guns a-blazing if that's who you are, and being able to share that in a safe space. And I think where it was so uncomfortable for her to do that afterwards, she's like, oh, like that vulnerability hangover. But in that moment, I noticed she was being her true authentic self. She was sharing her truth in a way that felt really good for her, in a way that felt natural for her because she was finally in a safe space where she could be herself. But afterwards, you're like, oh, I can't believe I said all those things. Like, I have done that so many times. I have anxiety. So afterwards, I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, I can't believe I said that. It could even be the simplest thing, like what I said to the mailman that day. Like, I hope you have a good day. And then later I'll be like, I can't believe you told the mailman to have a good day, Jess. Like, oh my gosh, he must think you're so weird. All these things that I have going through my head. It's so natural to do that. And we apologize for it. But imagine if you could walk into a conversation, truly say what was on your heart, what you're feeling in your gut, what you really wanted to get off your chest, and make an impact in this world and not apologize for it, right? To not sit in the corner and be too quiet, to actually put some input. And honestly, maybe if sitting in the corner and being quiet is your true authentic self and that feels really good, I'm a great listener. I love listening. If that's what I want to do, then that's going to be how I'm going to show up. So I challenge you to lean into that. I see this on the daily. Women apologizing for being themselves, for showing up. as who they are, apologizing for taking up too much space, apologizing for their bodies. I really challenge you to look at everywhere in your life right now that you're apologizing for and look into who you are and being authentically you and stop apologizing for it. There's so many places in this world where we need women to be authentically and beautifully them. That sometimes when I feel like my positivity and my optimism is too much, that I shouldn't be that happy, that I shouldn't be, this bubbly person that I am, is something that I can't change. It's who I am. It's not toxic positivity. It's who I am. And the same thing goes for you and what you're going through in your life and how you're expressing yourself and how beautiful your body is and who you are. Stop apologizing for being you. There's something really special about you, and the world needs you to show up in that way. So if it's on your heart and in your gut and you're just like, I got to say this thing, but it's going to stir the pot a little bit, stir the pot a little bit. The world needs some stirring right now. And the more that women believe in themselves and the more that they can truly be them, I think the world is going to be a better place. It is going to stir the pot though. I know. And it's going to make people feel uncomfortable. The next time you start to have those words come out of your mouth and you feel them like bubbling in your throat, like, I'm sorry. Stop it. You're like, no, I'm not freaking sorry. I am me. And that is the greatest gift in the world. I hope you are having a wonderful Monday. I think it's actually just the craziest thing that we're truly afraid to be ourselves, but it's actually not that we have a fear of what other people are going to think. It's actually that we've been trained to suppress who we are and hide in the corner, right? We've been trained to be good little girls. And it's time that we stop apologizing for stirring the pot and for getting a little heated and for saying what's really on our heart. We all know that there are a lot of people in the world who don't apologize for that, but for some reason, women do it more than ever. So let's stir the pot. Let's get things a little bit crazy and truly be ourselves. I love you so much for who you are at a core. Who you are is the greatest gift the world has ever seen. Have an awesome week.
What's up, sis? I am so glad we could hang out today. If you love this episode, send it to a friend or share it on your social media and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me sprinkle some confidence in the world. And don't forget, you are magic. Let's show the world your shine.